Hey friends, today we have Rachael DeVaux, the author of this yummy, delicious new cookbook called Good Eats, Rachel's Good Eats. And we're talking all about food. So get ready. If you are driving, you're going to be salivating through this because we're just talking food.
You're going to get hungry.
You're going to be really hungry and you're going to want her Bliss balls and you're going to want her sweet potato toast.
100%.
And so much more. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Hello, hello, Heal Squad. Get ready for another great day. We're going to be talking all about food today. Ugh, I'm salivating already. All right, let's start with our quote of the day. My goal is to show people that living a healthy lifestyle can be enjoyable and, more importantly, doable. That is from our guest today, Rachael DeVaux. She wrote this really great cookbook called Rachel's Good Eats. You might know her from Instagram. Her Instagram is called Rachel's Good Eats. And so she has lots of yummy, easy recipes on there. If you're new to the Heal Squad, welcome. This is what we do here every single day. We try to learn more to get better and to do better, whether it's, within us or for the greater good. We bring the best experts in the world on this show. We want to get healthier. We want to do better. We want to live better. And I know my life has been greatly impacted by all of the guests that we've had here on the show. And I hear from you guys all the time that it's impacted yours. So if you haven't already, leave us a review. We'll put the link in the summary below. Let us know how the show is helping you or impacting you or whatever you want to share with us. Only positive, guys. And then, by the way, if you haven't checked out Macy's.com/Heal Squad, Macy's is a huge supporter of the show. We're so grateful to them because they help us keep the lights on. Used to be an employee there, so we go deep. We go way back, me and Macy's. But at Macy's.com/Heal Squad, I've curated all my favorite things on Macy's. So whether it's Mother's Day gifts or birthday gifts or stuff for you, clothing, I have my fashion from my recent trip to Maui that I bought on there. Pretty much anything you're going to need is on there. So take a look. And without further ado, let's chat about who Rachael is. Rachael DeVaux is a registered dietitian. She's a certified personal trainer and the creator of the hugely popular Rachel's Good Eats on Instagram, like I mentioned earlier. She's rated the #1 fitness influencer by College Magazine, and we are here today to talk about her highly anticipated first cookbook, Rachel's Good Eats. Without further ado, let's get into this delicious conversation with Rachael. That was crazy here because we have 17 citrus trees,
That's the dream.
and they're all different kinds, and the blossoms. So before you leave, you have to go on the sniffing tour and just get sniff and inhale all of it. It smells so good. And then the jasmine is all over the walls of the property.
Oh my God.
So then in about a week, the jasmine's going to pop and then it's just going to be crazy here.
Do you have allergies at all?
Thank God I don't.
I don't either, but my husband does, and it's the worst.
Yeah, I have had bouts of allergies in different periods because I remember I'll look at Kelsey and be like, is this an allergy? She's like, yeah. She's like, I'm having it too. But
Yeah.
I don't have anything this year. But I'm not allergic to the orange trees, but they're so pretty.
Oh my gosh. I'm jealous of the citrus. It'd be so nice to have that all year.
Citrus is nice
Yeah.
to have. And especially for someone like you who is constantly coming up with new ways to use things like citrus, right?
Say Seattle, there's,
Well, yeah, living in Seattle probably sucks for trying to have anything outside.
Yeah, but
the
true.
rain.
Taking it from the garden, that's the dream. My
I know.
garden last year was amazing.
Oh, you were able to have a garden. Nice.
Tomatoes, zucchini, and rosemary, basically. Not the biggest garden, but it was actually really
My dad was here recently and he planted my garden.
cute.
I'll take you for a tour if you want. And so just yesterday I went out and I grabbed all this mint because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it in a cup with water on my counter, and every day I'm going to add it to my water. And it's so nice. It's such a nice touch. It feels so good.
It's like spa water. Just elevates it a little bit.
Yeah. And then instead of wanting gum, I just chew on the mint for a breath freshener, and it's natural and good.
Wait, that's amazing.
But the garden is so cool to have, and we have one in Connecticut too. That's really, really big.
Mm-hmm.
Eating your own vegetables.
There's nothing better.
There's nothing better.
Yeah.
I wish that we had thought about doing a cooking segment with you. We would have gone to the kitchen, even just for social, because I want you to make the sweet potato toasts. So breakfast is so hard because my mom and I did a healthy, quick recipe book a couple years ago, and breakfast was the one where I was like, oh gosh, we really need some ideas for people for breakfast because it's so hard. But you have sweet potato toast 3 ways.
So this is a spinoff of the cafe that I own with my sister and third partner, Toast Society Cafe in Las Vegas. We just opened our second location there. And I mean, who doesn't love toast? And so we have a paleo option with sweet potato toast with Japanese sweet potatoes. So good.
So it's Japanese sweet potatoes, which is different.
They're different.
They're like Japanese eggplants. Like they're different.
They're different. They're white, and I swear like they bake. The flavor when they come out is so good. Like they turn golden, and then you can put any toppings on it. We have savory. There's like a classic avocado toast. And then we have a sweet version as well, the sweet tooth.
Is that what this photo is?
Yes.
Holy guys, I don't know if you're going to see it, but it's...
And it's a homemade Nutella.
So I was looking at this. I'm like, whatever this is, I want. Like this looks beautiful too with the avocado and the egg on top. And it's a different spin on the avocado toast, which I like. I also love the apples. It looks like you have some walnuts on here.
Goat cheese, pear, walnuts, honey, and cinnamon.
On the sweet potato toast.
Yeah.
So can we, this is a different kind of interview because I'm like, I'm not asking you questions about yourself yet. I just want to know about the sweet potato toast. So sweet potato toast, how do you do this? Because I don't eat bread anymore. And so... we've been coming up with different ways to make muffins with sweet potatoes. And so we've made some yummy muffins with walnuts, and they're delicious. And
okay, wait, so how do you do that? Do you bake them and then mash them, like cool them and then...
Yeah, and then you bake them with some almond flour. Cool. And they're crazy yummy. And I'll grill them sometimes with butter and be bad, and they're yummy. Because butter, not bad. I mean, you can have a little butter. Or olive oil. Actually, when I do it with olive oil, it tastes exactly the same. And it makes it a little crispier. So I like that texture. Yeah, I use ghee
the lactose is removed. So I'm lactose intolerant and gluten intolerant. So essentially all my recipes that I put out are that way, and refined sugar free as well. I love ghee so much. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on butter because tastes exactly like that. It's so good.
Okay, so you get the Japanese eggplant. Here we go.
Japanese sweet potato. You bake it.
Oh, Japanese sweet potato. Shit.
You can do whatever you want. It'll turn out better with this one. But I like to bake it at like 415 degrees for like 45 minutes.
Okay.
And then you let it cool for a bit, and then you peel the skin off, and then you slice it into
wait. So is it you just put the whole
thing in?
The whole sweet potato just in on a baking sheet.
Yeah.
For 45 minutes.
Yes.
And then you take it and slice it?
Take it out, take the skin off, slice it into like 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch pieces. And then you can either put it in a toaster like several times, or you can put it back in under broil so it gets like golden on top.
Okay.
And then you put your toppings on and it's toast.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like
okay, revamped. So the one that we saw in the photo that I loved had some banana on it.
Banana, strawberry. There's homemade Nutella in there, dairy-free. Hemp seeds, which I like to call them nature sprinkles. And then honey and cinnamon.
What are hemp seeds good for? Again, I forget.
They're great for fiber. There's omega-3s, and it's a great protein source for plant protein. Actually, 3 tablespoons has about 10 grams of plant protein. So you can just throw that in a smoothie. I like topping it on salads. You don't really notice it. I mean, it has like a subtle nutty flavor, but it's nothing overpowering. I also add it to my Caesar dressing in the cookbook as well. You can't taste it, but it adds extra protein.
Wait, I'm really glad you just reminded me of that because I'm trying to get more protein in. And I forget that I can add hemp seeds to my salad. I usually add walnuts on top.
Yeah.
But throw in some more hemp. Why not?
I love a good protein hack. Trying to get that extra protein in. I work out. I want to preserve my lean muscle mass. I want to maintain it, build more, because we do start losing it after age like 30. So if we can...
I wouldn't know what that's like under 30, of course.
Both are. So if we can just add extra protein in throughout your day, that's going to help you out. So I like to base a lot of my meals around protein. That's like a lot of my recipes are very protein centric. So to start my day, I love a smoothie. Are you a smoothie girl?
I love smoothies too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always start my day with a smoothie.
I
Every
get
day.
worried because they spike your blood sugar so fast.
There's a way to build them where they won't.
Let's
and
do
they're
it.
a great meal.
How are we doing this?
It's a great meal replacement. So literally that is my breakfast every day.
Okay, what do you do?
I love to move and exercise before, and then I'll have a protein smoothie after. So it's usually unsweetened almond milk, a cup of ice. My go-to is like a PB&J smoothie. So I'll do vanilla protein powder, plant-based, 1 to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. That's going to help stabilize your blood sugar because it's high in healthy fats and protein as well. And then I like to add a fiber. So ground flax seeds, hemp seeds, you could add chia seeds. I do try to keep the fruit on the lower end just to keep the sugar overall a little bit lower. So I'll do like half of a frozen banana and then like maybe a 4th cup of frozen raspberries. And I think that's it. But it's so good and it's classic and you don't have to add a ton of ingredients. Like really just keep it basic. And it's a great meal replacement. It's going to keep you full for a few hours, which I need because I get hungry. I'm hungry all the time.
We have a glucose goddess on the show, and she talked about if you feel hungry within 4 hours of your meal, that means you didn't get enough protein in.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because a lot of times after I have a smoothie, I'm hungry really soon after. And that's also been something that's kind of dissuaded me from smoothies. I make something similar with mine, but I throw in the flaxseed, the chia, I do all of it. And the protein and the collagen powder. Now that I learned that collagen powder isn't just for vanity reasons. Because at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to use this. Who knows what's in it? And
I mean, it's good for your hair, your skin, your nails. It adds extra protein, amino acids. But I think the tough thing is like when you go out to eat at restaurants or cafes, you want a smoothie. They don't usually add protein. I guess it depends where you're going. So at that point, it is all fruit and it will spike your blood sugar. You're going to get hungry after 30 to 45 minutes. So if you can, boost it with healthy fats, quality protein, and fiber, you're going to have a much more substantial meal.
Yeah. I guess like for me, I never really understood that you needed a balance having all these things. And you're a registered dietitian, so you are qualified to speak on this. But I think for a lot of us, we're not taught proper nutrition. We're taught this stupid food pyramid when we're, kids. And then life just takes over and we're so busy and we just grab and go and grab and go. But for your body and for your blood sugar, this is not just for diabetics, you do need to balance. And so you really need to understand what is fiber, what are fats that are good, what are good proteins. And I love that you have so many protein options because I don't love to get all my protein from meat. I want to eat as little as I can, but I eat it, but I'd prefer to get it from other sources if possible.
Right. Yeah. So again, like I think smoothies are the perfect way to do that for 20 to 30 grams of protein to start your day. It's going to set you up for success. It's going to make you more focused and alert, which I think we could all use at the start of our day. And then I think
I used to throw coffee in there. I'd make my coffee smoothies. I thought I was a genius and created this in my first cookbook. I was like, oh my God, a coffee smoothie. I was driving to work and I'd have my smoothie and my coffee. And I was like, I got to figure out how to blend these. And so I made a banana coffee coconut smoothie recipe. And
work smarter, not harder.
This is amazing. And then I think I saw it somewhere else after and I go, oh, I thought that was my brilliant idea.
Okay, wait, then I'm piggybacking off of you because I have a salted caramel espresso.
I saw that
in the book.
I saw that
it's
share.
So good.
Okay, tell.
It's combining the caffeine and protein. So there's cashew butter, there's some espresso, frozen banana, and then all my smoothies have protein powder in it. Just again, like very protein centric, but it's so good. You'll have to try it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I definitely will. I make my smoothies. Sometimes, like I said, I'll make them into coffee smoothies or whatever. I get it all in somehow. I even do it with my yogurts now.
Oh.
I'll do my coconut yogurt and I'll put my protein powder in there and I'll mix
Have you seen the new cottage cheese ice cream craze?
No.
I don't know if it's just I'm not on TikTok, but it's...
You're not on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok. It's too hard to balance all the things.
Hold on.
I tried for 2 weeks and I was consistent and then it fell off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone
Are you
new,
on
I'm not on
TikTok?
it. I am, but I don't do any of
Okay.
that. I barely am on there.
If I can remember to like post right after I do it on Instagram, I will, but
Wow.
very rare.
Okay, so back to the cottage cheese ice cream. Because I'm not a cottage cheese fan.
Me neither.
It just, the texture, the whole thing just seems bad.
Yeah. I'm the same way, but I guess if you put it in a food processor or a blender and you mix it with like strawberries, and people have been like breaking up graham crackers in it, and then you put it back in the cottage cheese tub and then you freeze it and then you scoop it out like ice cream. It's like a high protein
I'm going to try that.
option. So yeah,
Can someone in the booth take notes on all these things I need to make?
get some of that organic cottage cheese and try.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that sounds so good. Okay, so as I said, a registered dietitian, can you help break this down like super easy for people? Like I said, we're all so busy
Mhm.
and it really is hard to kind of wrap our heads around it. I know I'm a pretty smart person and I used to be like, what? I don't know. Now I get it because I've really had a little bit more time.
Mhm.
My schedule is more of my own than when I used to work 50,000 jobs.
Yeah.
And so I get it a little bit more now, but I'm still trying to learn. Like I had a session with one of our favorite nutritionists we have on the show, Alyssa Goodman. I was like, hey, I need a session with you. And she's like, you're doing everything great. And I go, yeah, but I need like some more ideas for
Mhm.
protein and for fats. And so
Well,
give us
I
that.
didn't grow up eating healthy. It just wasn't like
Really?
a focus in my family nutrition. So thank God my mom always had like a big salad on the table. That was like our main veggie, I guess. But yeah, there was a lot of box dinners, freezer meals, all the things. Tyson chicken nuggets after school. I'd make like a whole tray and like that would be my after school snack. But I really didn't start cooking until high school. And that's when the light bulb really turned on. Like, okay, food really does play a factor in my performance because I was an athlete. I played soccer and basketball. So I started to feel the effect of what I was eating and how it kind of contributed to my performance, recovery. And so at that point, I really started getting into nutrition. And then I decided I want to be a dietitian. So I went to college and then I started, experimenting in the kitchen and finally cooking for myself. And that's where I just started my whole passion project of my food Instagram, Rachel's Good Eats, and just started being really consistent with posting 2 to 4 pictures a day of
Whoa,
what I was eating. It
that's
was
a lot of
wild.
work.
Didn't miss one day for a year and a half.
That's a lot of work.
And I don't even know how I did it because I was in school, full load. I did my dietetic internship, but
It's your passion.
it
So
was
it's
something that made
easy.
me so excited and happy. And I love styling food. Like the food presentation is something that is so cool to me. And I love doing that.
Did you style everything in the book?
I did not. I hired out for that.
Okay.
I mean, they are the experts, but it is something I'm very passionate
Well,
about.
you're doing it on your Instagram really well.
That's true. Yeah.
But when you're doing a book shoot, and I've done a cookbook shoot, it's
Oh my gosh.
literally one of the hardest things. And I've made
whole
independent
team.
films. It's a lot.
It's a whole team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Photographer, food stylist, prop stylist.
Yeah,
like all the
and
things.
and you gotta it's so much. I remember calling my whole neighborhood, be like, "Come over, we have so much food. Please come eat everything."
Yeah. They took all the food home, which was great.
Yeah.
But I essentially want to show my audience that eating healthy doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be super complicated. Like I think what nutrition is kind of portrayed a lot of the times is very complicated, lots of numbers. It doesn't have to be that way. Like let's simplify it. Let's just break it down to simple components, looking at food in terms of fuel. How is it going to benefit our bodies? Like I look at red bell peppers high in vitamin C. So how can I incorporate more red bell peppers into my diet? That's going to help boost my immune system.
So you don't subscribe to the lectins?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Tell me why.
I mean, you can get more technical with everything with nutrition. Like you can get more science heavy. A lot of the times that just makes my eyes glaze over even. I just like being simple about it and not having a lot of stress. Like I did go through tons of different diets, trying myself, figuring out what worked for me, like counting macros, counting calories. So stressful. Like it became such a big part of my day. I was like obsessed with thinking about what I was going to eat next, like my next 4 meals, like what I was going to have, how was that going to fit into my, my macros. It was way too stressful. And so I think I just found my own food philosophy with, how does food make you feel? Like you eat something, is it going to make you feel energized after? Is it going to make you feel fatigued, brain fog? How is it going to make you feel? And so I've become very intuitive with how I personally eat. And so that is how my recipes are portrayed, especially through this cookbook. Like it's very simple, very approachable, whether you're cooking for yourself, you're cooking for your partner, or for your family. Like I am so proud of this. There are so many recipes for every occasion.
Yeah, I like that simple approach. And I think, it does get complicated sometimes. Someone's like, don't eat lectins, don't eat nightshades, don't eat this, don't eat that.
I don't like putting labels on it. Like I would describe my way of eating as paleo-ish, with a big emphasis on like Mediterranean, lots of extra virgin olive oils, healthy fats. But yeah, I think if you just put too many food labels on it and you restrict yourself, it can just kind of cycle into a negative way of thinking about food, when I think it should be celebrated. Like I think making recipes should be fun. And it should be something that should add value to your day.
Yeah. It's hard though, the whole intuitive part, I think is hard for the everyday person. Like the single mom who's like trying to like just keep food on the table and having to work. It's hard. It's hard even for me, and this is kind of what I do. I'm entrenched in health and wellness, but like the first thing I thought of when you said that was, do I pay attention to how things make me feel? I'm just doing what I know is right.
Yeah.
I'm eating well. Am I really taking stock every time? Like, did this move through my body well? Does this feel good? Not necessarily, because I don't feel like a lot of us have time.
Totally. And I
do
think
that.
it's learned. Like it took me years to get to this point. And I know a lot of us are so busy. So I think another way to kind of balance out and make it a little less time to think about how you feel is just sticking to half your plate of veggies. A quarter of it should be quality lean protein, wild caught salmon, organic chicken, grass-fed steak. And then
grass-fed steak is so hard, like physically hard. Every time I buy grass-fed meat, it's like a rock. Am I crazy, or is it just mine? I go to Whole Foods. I'm like, what's happening here?
That could be true. I love grass-fed organic ground beef, and I saute it with Siete taco seasoning, and that's
yummy.
like my staple. Like I'll make rice for the week, and then I'll make like 2 batches of the organic grass-fed ground beef with taco seasoning, and I'll just keep that in the fridge. And when I want it, that's a great hack, is keeping protein in the fridge, keeping maybe a complex carb, something that is just going to be so easy when you want something to grab and go. And then all you have to do on the spot is just like saute or chop up a veggie. So it's really quick. It's like 10 minutes to make lunch.
So you feel the same way about the grass-fed meat?
I mean, I don't typically eat steak, so maybe I don't know why. There's no reason.
I'm not a big steak eater, but anytime I have, I'm like, oh, this is horrible. And I'm like, are we just picking the wrong meat? I don't know.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Maybe skirt steak, because it's thinner.
No, I think it was like, thicker steaks, and they were hard, so I never got them again.
I'm a ground beef fan.
But I do like the ground stuff better too. Okay, so our proteins, when you say lean proteins, sometimes when I go to the market, it says like lean on the meat, and it has different percentages. Will you explain that?
I actually have been enjoying like the 85% lean beef.
And what does that mean?
15% fat.
Only 85% lean and 15% fat.
So they take, essentially there's only 15% fat in this.
Left.
Yeah. And so it's going to be more juicy when there is more fat with it.
Yeah.
So I personally, it's going to have a better mouthfeel and taste. So, I mean, healthy fats are great.
But you don't have to eat the fat, right? Like if you're
drain it.
Eating a steak, you cook it so it can absorb some of it or whatever, and then cut that off. I never eat the fat.
Cut it off. Some people really like it.
They do?
Yeah.
Wow. I've never talked about this stuff. That's so funny.
Beef fat.
Yeah, I've never talked about it, but I always cut everything off. It looks gross.
I'm like you. But I think with like the ground, it makes it more juicy and more
Mm,
flavorful. So I enjoy it.
interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. So you want as lean as possible,
Wild caught
wild caught.
fish. Hmm.
And then in terms of, so a quarter of your plate should be some kind of lean protein.
That's just a simple way of like, I've learned just over time, like how to build my plate. And I think the easiest way to think about it is you want most of your plate to be
Veggies.
veggies.
Mine is always veggies.
So
It
it's gonna,
has always, because I've always just loved
what's your favorite?
salads.
Salads. Do you
I've
do like
always been a
grilled?
salad.
I love grilled
I
veggies.
love grilled veggies too. I love grilled romaine too.
Oh,
Have you ever done grilled romaine lettuce?
I've had it at a restaurant. I've never
Oh my
personally.
God. We had a chef in here when the studio was different. We did some like demos in here. And we had it was grilled romaine lettuce, and then you squeeze the lemon, you threw a little parmesan on
Oh,
top, and
that's good.
oh, we did grilled watermelon too. Oh my
Did you
God, it
put
was
like
so good.
feta on top? Is that like
Yes.
okay? And then mint. You can do your
And
mint.
mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that
Yummy.
sounds so good.
It's getting to be that time for some grilled romaine lettuce,
Oh my
friends.
gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, I've always been, I love my veggies for the most part. Yeah.
Me too. And I think a lot of times there are some tricky people in the family to get to eat veggies. A lot of my recipes, like I'll sneak veggies in, and a lot of the times you won't be able to tell. Like
Hmm.
I have my staple enchilada skillet in the cookbook. It's my husband's favorite recipe. He even loves to make it because it's so easy. Everything's in one skillet, but there's chopped bell peppers, there's onions, there's just all the things mixed with enchilada sauce,
Hmm.
and you can't tell. So I
Yeah.
think just finding ways to like add it in there, that's gonna make people excited to eat it.
Yeah. I made myself
That's the
a really
trick.
yummy omelet this morning.
Yum. What did you put
And
in it?
I sauteed my spinach. I chopped spinach, onion, yellow pepper, and oh gosh, there was one, oh, a little tomato. I chopped it
Yum.
all up, put it in the skillet, let it all saute in the olive oil, and then I added egg whites and feta. And it like baked and it became this like delicious
I love
mushy.
feta so much.
Oh, I love feta too.
You can put it on
Um,
everything.
and then I had some avocado with it. So it was really
Yum.
yummy. And some walnuts. I always do a couple walnuts on the side too.
Dang, look at you.
Yeah.
Healthy fats, protein, all the things.
Yeah. So, okay, so we've got a quarter of the plate is lean protein, half the plate is veggies.
Hmm. And then complex carbs. Like I love weight training. I love working out. We need carbs. The great source of fuel and energy. So lately I've just been having either like sweet potato, that's going to be high in vitamin A,
Mhm.
rice. Those are like my go-tos.
So, what is rice good for?
Oh my gosh.
Because
Well,
I hate rice other
do
than
you?
sushi. Yeah, I always just
Wait,
looked at
I'm
it as like,
shocked.
yeah.
Well, I think it's about finding what you love to eat. So I think like fingerling potatoes are awesome,
Mm-hmm.
grilled or baked until crispy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few potato recipes that I'm just obsessed with. So I think it boils down to just finding what works for you and not trying to force food that you don't enjoy. But it's also about experimenting in the kitchen and just using different ways to prep ingredients because they come out and taste differently each time,
Yeah.
depending on how you make them.
What about figuring out fiber in there? I guess your vegetables are your fiber, right?
Veggies, skin of potatoes are high in fiber.
Ooh, I made a recipe. You might like this.
Okay, go.
I was playing chef at my friend's house at Big Bear at New Year's, and I was making sweet potatoes. I'm like, wait, why am I going to waste the peel? So I was like, what if I do something with the peel? This goes to your experimenting
Okay.
thing. I was like, I'm going to take the peels, washed. They were already washed because the potatoes washed. I'm going to take the peels and put them in, saute them in olive oil.
So you peeled them and then you had the peel
So I
separately.
sauteed them in the olive oil. Then so
Wait.
that kind of cooked them a little. Then I took them off, put them in a baking sheet with sea salt and cinnamon, and then they were a crack.
This is blowing my mind.
They were so good. Everybody's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, I just felt bad wasting it in that moment. Something just happened,
I need
and I'm
to
in
be
a
better
big
with
kitchen.
adding
And
cinnamon to things.
cinnamon, I add to everything.
Really?
Yeah, because it's such a good antioxidant and it's a
Yeah.
good taste.
I love cinnamon on
So I
everything.
throw it in my smoothies. Your PB&J will taste even better with cinnamon. Yeah. It's
Okay.
always in my
The
smoothie.
potato skins are rocking my world right now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They're really
That's a
good.
good one.
Yeah.
Less food
So
waste,
I make
more fiber.
batches of them and I put them in a big glass jar and it's like a little it's like chips.
Okay, so they're crispy.
They're crispy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're really good.
That's genius.
Yeah. So, and then you can throw it on your salad too. Like sometimes, I'll get creative with that
It's
too.
like a crouton.
But I like having little things to like crunch on.
I do too. I'm a crunchy gal.
Mm-hmm.
Like ending my meal with like something crunchy. I love doing that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I also did something that I never do because I was never a big spinach fan. So I had baby spinach the other day and I was like, you know what? I always eat veggies first.
Mm-hmm.
So Elisa Viti, who's an endocrine specialist, had taught us like always eat your veggies first.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow she explained it like it creates like a fiber basket in your stomach so that any of the carbs get taken and then it helps digest everything. And so I've been doing it ever since. And so I sauteed spinach in olive oil and I just put a little garlic powder and salt and pepper on it.
Yum.
It was so good. I was like, I could eat this every single day for the rest of my life.
Well, I think
And it took 2 minutes to cook.
spinach also, you can fit so much in a skillet. Have you seen
Yeah.
those memes where it's like people put like 2 bags and then it just shrinks down to like
but
the
it
tiny.
did. It
Yeah.
shrunk down. And I was like, wow, this was such a fast thing to make.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's a great side for anything.
Yeah.
Throwing it in a smoothie too, like you can't taste it. I love freezing spinach beforehand and throwing it in a smoothie.
I do frozen cauliflower in the smoothie
Do you?
too.
I tried.
You did? You didn't like it?
I didn't love it.
Oh my
I
God, you
love
can't
cauliflower.
even taste it.
I know.
You can't even taste it. And by the way, sometimes I would get little chunks that didn't shred down. And I kind of liked it. I was like, because it was a peanut buttery kind of
Okay.
or almond buttery taste to the smoothie with a little of that in there.
Little chunks of cauli in your breakfast.
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I love adding cacao nibs too. That's like a
Yeah,
crunchy.
those are good. I got addicted to those for a minute and then I had to stop.
Oh.
I was like, I'm really, really loving these too
Are you a
much.
sweets girl?
I quit sugar
You
like
did.
at least 3 years ago now.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Do you
quit
have
sugar.
like hacks for no sugar
Yes.
added sweets?
Yeah, I mean, like we make those sweet potato muffins with a
Mhm.
little stevia.
Yeah.
I candy my walnuts with stevia.
Oh my gosh, I've never had that.
So
Okay.
they're really delicious little treats. And then I make, Dr. Mark Hyman had this avocado mousse recipe. Have you seen this?
I think I've seen it on his
It's,
page.
avocado chocolate mousse
Yeah.
with cacao powder.
Mhm.
Oh, so good.
I have a paleo fudge recipe in the cookbook, and I also have a no added sugar fudge recipe. So you can kind
Really?
of pick your poison which one
How do you make that?
you into. Cacao powder and coconut oil,
Oh.
a little stevia. But I also like to add little toppings and make it like a bark. So you can add
Yeah.
like blueberries, which are high in antioxidants, goji berries, hemp seeds again for like added protein. And then you freeze it and then you break it up into pieces.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
I
a good
love
little
that.
snack.
I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds really yummy. I love food.
Me too. I could talk about it forever. I can also grocery shop forever.
You know what's funny is I used to make fun of Kelsey because she's like, I love going to Trader Joe's. I'm like, why? She's like, loved going there. Like, I would love going to maybe like, I don't know, Nordstrom or something. I don't love going to Nordstrom. I do, but I don't. I'm not a big shopper. I
Yeah.
don't like going into, I don't know. I'm not a big shopper, period. But then I went to Erewhon.
The Holy Grail.
That was, Kelsey, was that not your other favorite place? Oh, she's gone. Is she gone?
It's me in the booth today.
Oh.
I love Air1.
Oh, you love Erewhon. Okay, Natasha's in the booth. I didn't realize Kelsey wasn't next to you. But Erewhon was like, oh my Lord, I know it's crazy expensive.
I
but-
think it's a good idea I don't live here for that reason because it's wild, but it's so much fun just to see all the different things and the prices.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's
It's like going to
Disneyland.
Restoration Hardware.
Yes, it
but for
100%
food.
is. Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So yeah, I in that respect, or like there's another supermarket here called Gelson's. And they're really good too. So I was like, oh, this makes me a little bit more joyful because some of the main supermarkets get so cold
Yeah.
and I freeze my butt off and I hate being cold. So I rush out of there. But with, these places, they were a little bit better temperature controlled and it felt just calmer and
Yeah.
yeah.
We love a good shopping experience.
Yeah, it has to be good.
All the different factors.
Okay, so you went to school for
Dietetics.
Is it
Yes.
different than being a registered dietitian?
There's so many terms for registered dietitian. A registered nutritionist is essentially the same thing as a registered dietitian.
So do you work with clients on their nutrition?
I did right when I got my RD. I opened up my own private practice, which no one teaches you how to do. It was like a whole thing
To
figuring.
open a practice?
Yeah. Or
That's hard,
your
right?
own business. So a lot of learning along the way.
What did your parents do for a living?
My dad is a car salesman.
Okay.
And my mom is a home appraiser.
Got it.
Yeah.
So they didn't have their own businesses so that you could.
My mom did.
Okay.
But I feel like it's
a different thing.
It's so different.
Yeah.
And so I had like 5 to 7 clients who I was either grocery shopping for, teaching them about like labels, meal prepping for them, kind of adding in a little bit more fitness. Then at that same time, my Instagram was gaining more traction and I realized I could start making money through my Instagram by either, working with brands and promoting their products. So I just took the risk and I went all the way social media. And I just thought like my goal is to help as many people as possible through their health and wellness journeys. And I know I can reach so many more people, through online. And so that happened probably in 2016. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going on year 7. But no intention of like having my own social media platform when I first started. Like it was truly just my passion project. It was for my friends and family to show them that eating healthy can be very approachable and simple and fun. And I've always put the whole recipe and all the ingredients in my captions. Again, just for convenience. I want to make it easy for people, show them how enjoyable it can be, and just helping them on their health and wellness journeys.
Well, and you have so many followers now, right?
I've definitely got a lot more during the pandemic. I think that's where
everybody needed you.
That's where everyone needed me. That's where my fitness era really like blossomed because I started doing 2 live workouts a week on my Instagram page because I had never worked out from home before that. And I think we all just realized like, oh my gosh, we're all in the same boat here. Like, how can we feel better every day? I felt responsible. I need to put some workouts out there. We need to like have some movement in our day and make this a more positive experience. And so that was so much fun. It held me accountable as much as I think I was helping people be accountable themselves, but it was a place where we could hang out for an hour 2 times a week and actually have a positive experience in such a dark time. And it ended up being my favorite part of the pandemic and being home and isolated and just growing the community to where it is today. And so I think it was all just fun that we were doing it together.
So you're still doing workouts with everybody?
I did live workouts for about a year. It was so much fun. Now I've kind of toned back, but I have fitness programs that I run on my page. And so we do a few community challenges a year right
on
now.
Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now we're actually doing my 8-week strength guide. So it's like a gym-based workout program. And they've been so much fun. I actually created a few at-home programs. So all you'll need are like 1 set of weights and a mat and 5 feet of space because that's all you really need to get like a really killer workout.
True. Very true. We
Yeah.
we really can go back to like old school aerobic
Yeah.
Pilates like movements. Like everybody keeps trying to reinvent the wheel. It's like the same leg lift that worked 20 years ago still works now.
Yes. Yeah. And it's fun that now like we're kind of set up and we know what we can do at home. Like it gives us this, new perspective like, oh wait, like I can work out from home in 5 feet of
We've been doing
space.
it forever. Like I
know.
remember back in the day, like there was a show called Bodies in Motion on TV and they would work out on TV and they'd have their, their gear and their whole thing. People have been doing it for eons.
It took being sentenced to home
Yeah.
for a certain amount of time for us to realize that again. But I think just going through different seasons and being open to just making movement a part of your day,
Yeah.
no matter what it is, even if it's a walk outside, going to the gym, maybe it's a Pilates class with a friend, or just stretching on your mat at home. I think it's so important. For me, I do it to start my day. I think it just wakes me up, it sets me up for success. And then if you get it done earlier in your day, it's not something that you're going to push off. If you're thinking about doing it later in the day, for me, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Which always happens to me. So
Good point.
I like to do it in the morning.
Good point. Okay, so you're doing fitness, you're doing the nutrition. You have these, did you say they're breakfast spots in Vegas?
Oh, it's 2 cafes,
Two
gourmet
cafes, okay.
toast, wellness lattes, and coffee.
So when I go to Vegas next time, I can go there and I can
Yes.
taste your sweet potato bread,
Yeah.
even though I'm going to make it.
Right.
I am going to make it this weekend,
Mhm.
and it's
Oh,
probably going to
can't
be
wait to
my
see
new bread.
Yes.
I'm so excited about it.
Okay, I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, because they do all those like cheese crisps now. Like I know there's like moon cheese.
Mhm.
I really liked moon cheese. I ate too much of it on a plane once. But you can make cheese crispy,
Yeah.
right?
And I think that's like the craze right now.
But for dairy,
I know, I'm
you know.
lactose intolerant. So, but I
you
know
can't do
that's,
that.
and then that's high in protein as well. So
Mhm.
it's single ingredient. If you can just look at the ingredient list and just, if you can choose the healthier option that's given to you, that's going to set you up for success again. Just making the healthier option, trying to eat as few ingredients as possible with those packaged items. I think that's huge. And then also just being aware of added sugar, which I know you're a huge proponent of.
yeah, I think when you look at the package and it says it has 6 grams of sugar and then 8 added sugars or whatever,
Yeah.
that's when you know they just took the box of sugar and just kept adding it.
I know. And they sneak it into everything.
Yeah.
Nut
Salad
butters, salad dressings, crackers. Like it's in so much. And it sucks that we're responsible for figuring that out and being aware of it. So I think that's something I really try to promote is just being aware of what you're consuming. Cause I think at the end of the day, like we are really busy. We're just going to grab and go snacks a lot of the time from the store, or you're out at a coffee shop, you're just going to grab something. But if you can just take a second to like rewind just a little bit, look at the ingredient list, be aware of what you're eating.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make a healthier alternative at home on Sunday that takes like an hour, but you have it for the whole week. You know, something that is going to just get you through those snack cravings. And if you have something readily available, you're going to be less inclined to just grab something that's packaged, processed off
Yeah.
the shelf.
Yeah, that's what I have in the house. I have my little mason jars with the walnuts, with like different things so that I can
Raw nuts are great.
my sweet potato crisps
Yeah.
and things like that. And
Yeah.
it helps. And then
Mhm.
even in the fridge, I always have, either like something cooked. I have
Mhm.
even cooked eggs so that if I don't have time to make something fresh in the morning, I can eat that. I have cooked, broccoli or beans so that I can grab some veggies. And, it's really about doing the work ahead of time so that your life is easy,
Mhm.
because it's going to be so much easier to get in the car and go through drive-through. But
yeah.
if you have all the healthy options there, I have these keto crisp bars that I
Mhm.
really like. They're really delicious and they're really good balance for your blood sugar because they're keto, so they have enough fiber and protein and all of that. And they have these chocolate chip ones that
I'm
are
a sucker.
so good.
Ugh.
And they have peanut butter ones. So that's my one packaged thing in the house, the
Mhm.
only packaged thing I'll eat if I really have to grab and go and I don't have time to eat a meal or whatever. And then I'm like, okay.
I'm kind of the same way. Like I'll have one bar that I go to, but like a lot of the times I'll try my best to make something ahead of time. Like I have Bliss balls on my rotation.
Bliss balls?
Bliss balls, there's
What are Bliss
3.
balls?
Oh my gosh. They're just, those like raw, you can make them with just a handful of ingredients. I have a Snickers Bliss ball recipe in the cookbook. There's strawberry shortcake. They taste just like, do you have the ice cream bars from the gas station? The strawberry shortcake
Yeah.
bars taste just like that. And there's lemon matcha. So you have like 3.
Give me the first Bliss ball, whatever the chocolatey one was or something. Peanut
The
butter.
Snickers?
Snickers one, yeah.
It's peanut butter, chocolate chips, cacao. I think there's almond flour, and then protein powder. So it's healthy fat. And you just roll them together. Like you
And that's
make a
it.
batch. Yeah. And then you have them rolled up. You can freeze them. They'll last forever.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Do they have to be the sugar chocolate chips or can they be?
No, they can be whatever you want. You can put cacao nibs in them for like that
Oh my
crunchy
God,
alternative.
I'm making those
Yeah.
immediately too.
They're fire.
I love that. Oh my God, Rachel, I'm so excited that we got to talk about food.
I'm so
Now I want to go
excited.
make everything in your book. Guys,
Oh
the
my
book's
gosh.
called Rachel's Good Eats, based off of her successful Instagram. Over 110 fast, flavor boosted meals and daily treats to make at home. Thank you so much for coming in and
Thanks
sharing
for
all these
having
great
me.
treats.
I'm so honored. Thank you
Of
so
course.
much.
Thank you. All right, friends. Kelsey, you ditched us for a minute. We were talking all
I
about
did.
Erewhon.
But the thing is, I had to run real fast because I did have a coughing attack. But the beauty of these little headsets is I could hear everything. So I'm sitting not in the studio like, yes, I love everyone.
I know. And me and Kevin were always making fun of you. You're like, I love my Trader Joe's days. And I'm like, why do you love your Trader Joe's days? Trader Joe's is like a supermarket out here in LA. That's kind of like these other ones we're talking about too. But I mean, man, they make these like very luxurious and experiences now. Supermarkets are like crazy now. But we did get it finally now that we've gone to where the other side lives.
It's just beautiful there. And kind of like what Rach was saying too, like for me it's fun. It's if I'm in a mood or feel like I need to get out of the house but don't want to go do anything else, like I like to go walk the aisles and get my little hot bar. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Funny.
It's super calm there.
It's calm there. It is calm there.
Yeah.
If you go to the right one.
I know. I was like, Kelsey. And then I'm like, oh, Kelsey's not here. And Natasha's like, but I like it. Heel Squad, welcome Natasha to the team, by the way. So Natasha's with us now, and she's another fan of Erewhon and I guess Trader Joe's and stuff too. So that was really, really fun with Rachel because I love food. I love talking about food. You guys may or may not know my mom and I wrote the Evergirls Guide to Cooking. And it was basically because my mom was such a master at making healthy, delicious food fast and easy with just a few ingredients. And I really mean her basic spices were in everything: salt, pepper, garlic powder, and crushed red pepper. It was in everything. Maybe oregano too. And then it was just all veggies, and she just knew how to make it delicious. And we use a lot of olive oil. And so I was like, Mom, we got to put your recipes down. And thank God I did, guys, because it was right as she was getting diagnosed with brain cancer. So I got all of her recipes in a book. We got to share it with the world. She got to be all over on Rachael Ray, a little village woman from Greece, getting to be on her favorite chef's shows like Rachael Ray. And Bobby Flay had come over for dinner with his daughter Sophie, and we cooked for them. And I'll never forget, I'm entertaining them in the bar. Our ovens weren't working. And it was like, what the frig? Our ovens are shitting the bed on us on the most important meal ever of our lives. And so I'm stalling, dancing for Bobby, pretending like everything's fine. But
Maria's like putting on an entire performance.
We're dying that like nothing's cooking. And then my mom was just slightly forgetful, and I didn't understand. And when we were making the recipes for the photo shoot, because I was talking about how the photo shoots are so complicated and so intense, she had burned some things, and I'm like, what is she doing? It's so weird. Who would have ever thought she had a brain tumor? I mean, we would never. My head wasn't there back then. I wasn't as involved in things now. Now I can see people and I'm diagnosing, and I know so much now. But I'm so grateful we got to make that book together, and we did the tour, we did the Today Show, we did everything. And I have her recipes, and they are delicious. If you can get one online, I would highly suggest it because they're so easy and so good. But Rachel did the same thing here. And, now we know so much more. My mom was super creative, so she would have come up with the sweet potato toast. I know her. But if I said, Mom, I'm not eating bread, because when we made our independent film in Connecticut, my friend Ian was producing, and he was a vegetarian. So she started creating all these things for him because he was the only one who couldn't eat certain things. So she made special things for him. So she got white beans. She mashed them up, like white beans in a can, mashed them up. And then she chopped all kinds of different peppers: green pepper, red onion. I think that was pretty much it. Made them into patties and then cooked them on the skillet with the olive oil. And they were bean patties. And they were so delicious. It makes me remember now, I got to make those. What a great protein snack. And then you can cook those up, by the way, and then just reheat them really quick. Reskillet them. So she was super creative in the kitchen and always had so many great ideas. But this was so fun with Rachel. It's because, like I said, like that's what we grew up with. We grew up with healthy food. I love talking about food. I cannot wait for these Bliss balls. They're going to be everything. And I'm gonna make the cottage cheese thing. So Kelsey, your
I'm
task,
terrified of that.
you gotta send me everything that I said I was
Okay.
gonna do, because I'm
Deal.
gonna do it all on Saturday.
Deal. You know what I also have to say? I'm really glad that hemp seeds got the moment they deserve. I
Yep.
am like a big hemp seed girl, and I put it on them on everything, and it's such a good hack for extra protein. Put it on a smoothie, put it on toast,
Yeah,
get your hemp seeds on, and they're so high in omega.
I
Omega
know,
3.
and I forget about them. I have a big smoothie drawer. It's very full. I need to like clean it out, I think. Do you like cacao nibs? I'll give you one of
Love.
my bags of cacao nibs.
I would
'cause
love, thank
I bought
you.
like too many of them. But yeah, I think I gotta go grab my hemp seeds. I'm gonna put them in a mason jar. Then I'll remember to sprinkle it on everything. It stinks because we want an open counter, but then if you don't see it, you don't remember it. So frustrating.
It is. I'm the same way. I'm like, I have to see everything, or else I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was there.
Yeah, that's why I
Right.
switched to an open closet system. Now I
Smart.
see my clothes, so I wear more of them. Anyway, friends, that's it for today. I hope we enticed you with some delicious, healthy recipes. I hope we educated you on the ways to fill your plate so that you can just eyeball this and know that you're on the right track. We're not going to be perfect. We got to just do our best. And I think we armed you with some ways today. I hope we did. If you loved it, leave us a review or a comment below so that we know what you liked, anything you'd want from the future, because this isn't our last episode. Not firing myself just yet. And in the meantime, be nice people, make good choices, and be present.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or mariamenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.